Crime Curious is a true crime podcast that takes an in-depth look into real cases through the lens of a trained investigator and former prosecutor turned judge.
If you are sensitive to expletives, anatomical descriptions, and accurate descriptions of crime scenes, this podcast may not be suitable for you.
Welcome to Crime Curious. I'm Charnell.
I'm Megan, I think.
Hi, Megan. It's so nice to have you back.
I've been absent.
I just want to let you know that I've done some spiritual readings with some of our Patreons, and they're like, I really miss Megan.
Oh, I really miss them.
I know. She'll be back. Don't worry. She had life.
Yes.
And
so general audience,
wedding.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm happy to be back. My daughter is beautiful and married off and is a happy wife.
She is.
And is really enjoying it. It was a beautiful wedding. I can't thank Charnell and Jason and Tasha enough. And you know I'm a fan. So I got to decompress by listening to the last two episodes. Tune into Patreon, by the way, if you missed the brain bath, not brain bath, but the bonus episode that Tasha did on the LaLaurie Mansion.
Mad Madam LaLaurie.
Fantastic.
It was.
And then the general audience app that was played last week then for all of y'all was fantastic as well. So I'm a fan. I always listen.
It was.
What do you have for me today? Like something spooky? Or?
It was our true pleasure to attend your daughter's wedding.
We had so much fun.
We did.
If you aren't Patreons, just so you know, I started into an epic rendition of Shoop where I rap every word with a dance, and I thought I was feeling very alone, and then all of a sudden I looked to my right. No, my left. And Charnella joined me on the dance floor.
That's my song.
With a bunch of 20-year-old boys who apparently thought that us 40-somethings looked fantastic out there on the dance floor, rapping every word of Shoop.
Every single word without missing a beat. That is my karaoke.
I never missed a word.
That's
Mine
my karaoke
too. That
song.
Nice Ice Baby. I don't miss any words ever.
No,
so now you know something about me.
We had a wonderful time. And but here we are today to give the audience another true crime story.
Is this Weird-tober?
So this isn't. This one is just out of Maine.
Oh.
Our Weird-tober series is for the Patreons.
Oh, tune in again to Patreon. Tease.
Right, exactly. I mean, not that this one's not weird, but it is a just general, a regular true crime episode.
Bring me a lot of Maine cases. I love Maine. It's one of my favorite states. I love going there. It's beautiful. It's actually very similar to Michigan, but instead of the Great Lakes, they have the ocean.
Yes.
Mountains are beautiful. The vegetation's similar. They are a little more mountainous. I love it.
The east side of our country is beautiful, but is crimey.
There's
it's
a very
lot of crime
crimey
that comes out of there.
Yeah. Well, everybody migrated from over to Europe to there.
Right.
So goddamn you Europeans for messing things up on the East Coast and
dang
also
it.
settling us.
Yeah. Hey, thanks.
Thank you
for that, by the way. Still got some of your ancestral blood running through my veins.
So much of it.
I'm sure of it. Yes. I'm going to start this case today, which I just found by happenstance. This isn't a recommendation. This was just me completely stumbling upon it.
Okay.
And I've been piecing it together for a while now, but I want to tell you about this main case, and we're going to start on January 18th, 1951 in Maine.
Okay.
I said January, so you guys...
It's cold. There's a lot of snow.
Listen.
Feet of snow.
Maine is freaking frozen.
It is.
Yes, it is. And I'm going to tell you about how police pull up in front of Building F and they make their way to unit number 4. They weren't sure what they're going to find, and they had even tried to call the phone number that's associated with unit 4, but they're unable to reach that tenant. And they know the tenant's name is Eva.
So are they responding there because there's a 911 call?
We'll get to it.
Okay.
Yep.
You've just set me up so that I have so many questions.
I know.
I do this to you.
I do like to. I started this just a little bit different on purpose.
Okay. Trudging through the snow to the apartment.
They are unit number 4, and they know that the tenant in unit number 4 is named Eva. And they can't get her to answer the phone. and they're wondering, they know there's a distress call. Has the intruder left?
They don't know.
They do not
You
know.
always treat it as a no.
What if they returned?
Yeah.
You always treat it as an unknown.
If you are law enforcement, you always
Yep.
treat this as an adverse.
Yep. There are stairs that take them to unit number 4. And so they draw their guns as they should.
None of this sounds like inappropriate protocol at this
Nope.
point. All legit.
They can hear a woman screaming from inside unit 4. They enter the apartment and they find Eva, who they know is the tenant, in the living room. Now, the intruder is nowhere to be found. But they immediately see that there's a bloody scene all over. They clear the apartment, but they see in the master bedroom that it's full of blood.
Oh, this is bad.
And they need to render aid to Eva, who's in the living room. Now, Eva was on the living room floor. She is nude. She is bound. She's hogtied.
Okay. Okay.
Her arms are behind her back.
Her legs are basically ankles behind her back.
They are.
With her knees forward,
Yep.
protruding.
Yep. And they're tied with a purple wool scarf. There's also a black gauze-like scarf covering her face.
I don't like it.
A light green dress that the police figure she had been wearing was lying torn in the living room, but she didn't appear to be physically hurt. She's nude and she's hogtied and her dress is strewn about, but she doesn't seem to be hurt. Now, how do the police get involved? This is unusual, right? Well, let's insert Waldo Skillen.
Is he a neighbor?
He is a doctor.
Is he a doctor neighbor?
Not a neighbor. No, he gets a phone call at 12:42 a.m. And he's a doctor. This is normal for him. The voice on the other end of the phone he recognizes. It's Eva Cooper.
One of his patients?
One of his patients. And she is clearly in distress. I don't know why I keep saying, I'm mixing up distress and distressed together.
Tenses are important.
Distressed. She is upset.
She is upset. Thank you.
She is up freaking set.
But she called her doctor.
She did.
It's weird.
Well, what she says to him is, I just regained consciousness. She asked him to come quick. Now, remember, it's 1951.
It is. And you know what? That makes more sense that you would call a doctor for a house call because you were legit strangled and you've been passed out.
She's like, I regained consciousness. I don't know what's going on. Can you please come quick? She said, there must have been an intruder. I am naked. I'm tied up with my hands and legs.
Shit.
And I'm on my living room floor.
She was able to get a phone somehow?
She was, because she used her teeth to pull the receiver off the hook.
You guys, for those of you that are millennials or older, phones had these corkscrew type cords.
Yes.
That went in with a jack to both the phone itself and also to the wall, to the telephone line.
Yes.
And one could use one's teeth to pull the receiver down.
Well, and I think what happened in her case is she, instead of it being connected to the wall,
or even
1951,
a handset.
Yes.
Like on a table.
I think she was able to get the whole freaking phone
off the
and
table.
I think that this is the first phone number that she could recognize that she could dial without using her hands. She used her teeth and her nose, like her face, her chin, everything, to dial his number. And all she could say was, there was an intruder. I'm tied up. I don't know where Lance is. That's her husband. Oh. Her husband is Lancelot Cooper. Lancelot. Isn't that beautiful?
I'm getting so many King Arthur references right now. He was so gallant and a lovely knight and kind to everyone and fought for the honor of his women.
Yep. And he went
even
by
if they
Lance.
were married to someone else.
Yep. He went, true. He went by Lance. Yes.
Oh, I'd never call him Lance.
So,
I'd call him Lancelot.
Lancelot?
Yes.
She is wondering, where's my husband? What condition is he in? So Dr. Skillen, he's 30 miles away.
Oh.
And he asked her if she could if she has called the police. And she said no, because she's completely nude and embarrassed for them to see her.
But her doctor has seen her naked before.
Correct. And it's 1951.
Oh my God, it all makes sense.
This is where her mind goes.
You call one of the couple men who've seen you naked in an unjudgmental way.
Correct.
Non-judgmental way.
And also, she's not thinking clearly.
No.
I mean, obviously.
She's potentially, she's lost consciousness. She may have been strangled and possibly even raped at this point. She doesn't know.
Yep. Dr. Skillen got off the phone with her. He immediately dials the Brunswick Police Headquarters. So when they arrive, that's how the police arrive, right? They get a call from Dr. Skillen that says, my patient in unit number 4 there's an intruder. She is tied up. She doesn't know where her husband is. They need immediate help. She just regained consciousness, she thinks. So help her. So that's why at the beginning, when the police show up, they're like, I don't know what to expect. Did her husband do this to her?
Maybe.
Did an intruder?
Yes, that's always suspect one.
Yes.
Is the significant other.
Of course. So they realize the bedroom is a bloody mess. There was a pool of blood about 2 feet in diameter soaked into the left pillow on the bed.
Charnell, I'm getting a little worried about Lancelot.
We should be. There was also a bunch of blood on the sheets and mattress below, and they find Lance's body on the floor next to the bed. And the amount of blood was described as being incredible.
Significant.
Yep.
Not survivable?
Not survivable. The wood floors were covered in dark red blood. One of the medical examiners determined that Lance had 3 deep wounds to his head, 1 to his forehead and 1 behind his right ear. So if you can picture this, forehead, right ear, and then the third was at the very base of his skull.
What kind of wounds are these?
Knife. One of the gashes was 6 inches in length, Megan. So I need you to think about the width of this blade.
It's a large knife.
It is.
Not quite a machete, but close.
But very, very big.
Like your biggest chef's knife.
Yes. It's 6 inches in length is the actual wound.
Ladies, that's longer than you think it is.
It is. It's more than your men would want you to think. They were horrified that the wounds that fractured his skull. So this person comes in clearly with intentions of murder. This isn't something that he grabbed from the home, is what I'm saying. He brought this item with him, he or she. Dr. Ferguson was the coroner, and he noted that these wounds were undoubtedly from being struck with a heavy knife. Either of the 2 wounds on the back of the head, they estimated, would have been fatal.
If it's a 6-inch blade, at the base of the neck, the side of the head, or even up top, all of those are death wounds. Right. All of those would kill you.
Right. So the coroner isn't able to determine exactly which blow it was, but I mean...
One of them.
Correct. And then the good news is whatever ones may have come after it, he didn't feel.
Instant.
Yep. Police officers asked Eva what had happened. She explained to them that she was in the kitchen around 10 p.m.
Now, she's suspect number 1, by the way.
She is, because Lance is dead.
Even though she's bound.
Yes, Lance is dead. But she says, I'm in the kitchen getting around 10 p.m., getting ready to do some dishes while listening to a basketball game on the radio when she heard a knock on the door. She answered it, and there was a man standing there. His face was covered in a Halloween mask. His hand was holding a pistol pointed right at her. He ordered her back into the apartment, and of course she complied. She remembered shouting.
Where was her peephole?
Well, I don't think she used one because this is a Halloween mask that is facing her. She did not use a peephole.
I know.
She hollered to Lance, and he said that he blacked out, then she said that she blacked out and remembered nothing more until she regained consciousness. So one small blessing here is that she blacked out because she was hit in the head, most likely with the end of that gun, and she never heard or saw what happened to her beloved.
So I feel like this
or
can
to
be
her, for that matter.
a number of things, right? Like a robbery gone wrong. They first incapacitated the person who answers the door instead of murdering them. Like they almost weren't intending to commit murder. Maybe they were intending to commit a robbery, or she was never the intended target.
Right.
So they put her out of the way with blunt force trauma.
Yep.
And then did what they needed to do. So I can't wait
Yep.
to hear for the rest because
Yep.
I need to know the other evidence here.
Upon waking, she said she found herself on the living room floor, bound and nude, and she struggled to the telephone to call Dr. Skillen, the first person she can think of to call. So officers checked Lance's bedside, and they find that there are some valuables that had been left. Lance's watch wasn't taken, his wedding band, and his wallet actually had $58 in it.
This is not a robbery.
Nope. It led police, of course, to conclude robbery had not been the motive, as you said. And this is very personal. And also,
unless they were
injuries.
hiding like the secret to cold fusion in their basement, like the Saint with Val Kilmer.
Yes.
And they were really only after the secrets and didn't care about the $53. But
Spoiler alert, that's not the case
I
here.
do find that unlikely.
It's very unlikely in Maine,
Fair.
in apartment number 4. Yeah.
I love Maine. They have good blueberries and mountains.
They do, but
Syrup.
this attack was very personal. First of all, it was in a knife. It was with a knife. It was to the head.
Who was having the affair?
Well, let's get to some
Okay.
things. Police started tearing into Lance's life because, of course, that's their first thought, too. He was 56, and how had he made such a violent enemy?
By being married to a beautiful woman.
Maybe. Let me tell you about Lancelot Henry Cooper.
Oh, I like that name
I know.
so much.
LHC, Lancelot Henry Cooper.
Oh, if only I were still fertile.
He was born in 1894.
Damn.
So just a little bit before you.
Well, he's in his 50s, almost 60 years old.
In 1951.
Yeah.
That's when this case happened. But he was born in South Windsor, Maine. He was a standout athlete, a star football player, and a basketball player. Right up your alley, obviously.
Totally
Megan.
my type.
Around the time he graduated from Coney High School in Augusta, Maine, in 1912, he was already expecting a son. Now, this part is unclear, you guys. He married his first wife, Grace, on November 14th, 1912. And he ends up having his first son, Lancelot Jr., who went by Lanny, and who was actually born in 1912. I don't know. Was he married first? Did he have the son first? We're not sure. But regardless,
It could have been either. I mean,
he graduated, he got married, and he had a son in 1912.
and it could have been in any of those orders because he could have been married before he graduated.
Yeah.
In those days, if you accidentally got a woman with child, you would have married them immediately. Even if you were in high school and you were 16 years old. Parents signed off on those. You quickly got married, and that was how you legitimized things.
Absolutely.
And no judgment on any of those.
Nope.
But we know these happen very quickly. Young dad.
Yes, young dad.
Right?
Yep. So he is probably approximately 17 or 18 years old. He's got little Lanny, and he marries Grace. 2 years later, in 1914, Lance and Grace had a second son. Around this same time, of course, World War I had begun, and Lance enlisted in the U.S. Navy. By the late 1910s, Lance had returned to the Northeast. He worked as a steel ship manufacturer in Bath, Maine, and it was actually called Texas Steamship Company. So I'm guessing, Megan, it was based out of Texas instead of Maine.
TSC.
TSC. Exactly.
Interesting.
Texas Steamship Company.
Okay.
And the company shuttered in 1912.
But that's what they would do. I mean, think of how far up Northeast Maine is, but it was still probably an easier route in that time frame to do steamships and take them all the way around the coast of the U.S. and down to Galveston in Texas.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Sure was. Now, sometime around this point in his life in 1921, when he was in his early 20s, he and Grace get divorced. Okay.
Which is probably close to unheard of in that time
I'm
frame.
sure.
At least usually have to have a pretty good reason or what you would call cause. They didn't have no-fault divorces at this time.
Yep. And he soon remarried a woman 1 year his senior,
Oh, God. A cougar, so to speak.
also named Grace.
Well, it makes it easier, as you're aware.
I know what that's like.
So many mats, all the mats.
It's so much easier when you do it that way.
My next husband's going to be a Jason.
Yep.
I know it.
I think statistically speaking, you could find one. I have like 12
For
Jasons in
sure.
my life.
We have a
And
lot of
that's just
Jasons in our
me.
lives, and I would only want to sleep with one of them, and I'm currently married to him. Of all the Jasons
Of
I
all
know.
the Jasons. Yes. But there are a lot of Jasons. Yes,
Okay.
that's for sure. So
Fair.
you can find another one.
I
It's
have
all
a
right.
different list of names. None of them start with Jason.
Some of them start with Matt LeFleur.
Some of them start with Matt, and they end with LaFleur.
That's right. Oh, God. Anyway, so this Grace number 2, Grace 2.0, she was from another well-known family in Augusta. Now, around May of 1930, when he was just 36 years old, he began working at Bath Iron Works, becoming one of the first 8 welders that they employed at Bath Iron Works.
This has got to be a great gig. He's
Yes.
got to be making bank here.
Oh, well, immediately after, he's promoted to leading man, so supervisor, manager, whatever, and in the welding department, and a position that he would actually hold until his death. In 1933, he married again to his third and final wife, Eva Sawyer, who took his last name to become Eva Cooper. Eva, too, she was a widow, so I didn't say this, but his second wife, Grace, had passed away. Eva had 3 kids from her previous marriage. She was 27 and he was 39.
Holy shit. So she's 27, has 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
She is divorced.
Yep. No, widowed.
She is widowed,
She's
and
widowed
now
with
he
3
is
kids.
also, because his second Grace
Yep. Passes
has
away.
passed. Okay.
And so they are married and he is 12 years her senior. And
What's that like, Charnell?
fantastic. It's amazing. Uh-huh.
Maturity-wise, you're at the same level, finally.
You are. It's working out fantastic for me. In 1945, he was elected president of the Bath Country Club, and he was a prominent member of the local Elks Lodge, which we still have around here, Megan.
Boring.
Eventually becoming the chairman of the board of trustees.
He polishes his shoes before he sleeps with his women.
He does.
I don't like any of it.
He does.
I'd rather have the president of the local bike club.
He is the president of the Elks Lodge instead.
Okay.
He participated in the Masons and the Lions Club.
Of course he did.
All
You know
of
how
these-
we know that? Because he told everyone.
He told everyone.
I'm a Mason. I'm a Mason. I know all the secrets that go back to the signing of the Constitution. I know them all.
And the Lions Club. Bless his heart.
We have delicious wintergreen mints.
He absolutely, they really do.
They really
They're
do,
so
Charnell.
good.
They're so good. I
He-
love all of these service organizations, by the way, but I'm just joking because
He's
this
the
is how
salt
you know.
of the earth of America.
I think that's the right way to put
is.
this.
He absolutely is. He was also.
I'm still looking for the Fonz, right? Like
I
the whole
know.
Happy Days thing that's
Right?
happening here, and I'm looking for the black leather jacket and the grease back hair.
He was also the government leader, first elected alderman, and then later city councilman when the structure of the town's governing, like embodied, was formulated.
Of course he was.
Bless
He's
his
basically
heart.
a pilgrim.
He is. He's a leader. 13 years into their marriage in 1946, Eva was tired of living in Bath. So she left Lance and they separated for some time. She moved to Portland, Maine, where he continued to live with his mother and work in Bath because he was a prominent figure.
Lance has an appearance to uphold.
Yep. And they remained married but estranged.
Okay.
And then in 1949, Lance's mother passed along after she was 78, but she went down in history as having a long illness, but I freaking couldn't figure out what the illness was.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if it was
maybe
cancer
it doesn't
or what.
matter to us.
Yep. But she was 78 years old. He had taken care of her for a long time. After burying his mother, Lance decides to join his wife, Eva, in South Portland at 144 Spring Street. A year later, they moved to Brunswick, Maine. and got a 2-bedroom apartment in one of the nice new post-war buildings that was being built. So they're an upper echelon, or as our friend Tasha would say, the upper crust.
A silver spoon.
Mm-hmm. They were designed primarily for veterans who had returned from the war and were attending local Bowdoin College. Now, Eva and Lance, they were one of the older couples living in the building, obviously, at this time. And the apartment where Lance eventually meets his demise at the age of 56 is in one of these apartments that were actually built for the post-war era.
Do you want to know something interesting? I'm going to Cliff Clavin you right now.
Please.
So Bowdoin College, very French. So the Maine actually share a very similar ancestry to us in Michigan and New Orleans, which are like, you know, two of my favorite places in the entire world,
right,
in terms of our French and French Canadian ancestry. So I know very, very many people who are French descent who live in Maine, and Bowdoin College is one of those. So it's very interesting that this is where they end up.
It is.
So just to tie the last few weeks all together.
Yes, that we've had. That is interesting.
It's very French. We're very French right now.
We are.
You just wait till later. I'll
make
it super French for you.
You just wait till I lay that kiss on you before you leave the studio.
I was thinking fries, Charnell. Why'd you make it weird?
Oh, I also love French fries with a good Caesar salad. Give that to me.
You just want some of my poutine.
Every day. I do. I do. Good God. We went 2 different directions with that, but both French.
And delicious.
Yes. Yes. Lance's murder, it's not just a blow to his family, but to the entire community, because he was a respected elder.
Yeah.
Right? He was seen as, I mean, he's 56 years old in this post-war era apartment complex. He was like the grampy of the community.
Clearly a prominent figure.
Yes.
Everyone knew him at the grocery store or the park or any community event.
Yes.
You get it.
Yes. And everyone seemed to be grieving except one person. Someone surprisingly close to Lance.
Was it Eva?
It was Eva. She doesn't seem to be grieving. So let's look at things from Eva's perspective before the murder.
I want to know who else Eva liked.
So, allegedly, based on research, we don't know that Eva was super tolerant of her husband. In fact, we made surmise from the research that perhaps Eva was just fucking sick and tired of her husband.
This is husband 3 for her.
It is wife 3 for Lancelot.
Oh, it's husband 2 for her.
Husband
I
2
apologize.
Her husband died after an illness. Yes, she was a widow.
Okay, so she decides to get married.
Because remember, they were separated.
Yeah, I forgot. And then they were separated. Okay, so she's already been like, I can live without you.
Right. And
Keep
then you
me
came crawling back.
And now you're cramping my style because she may have already moved on.
Maybe. Or maybe she was just like super content with her 3 kids, living her life, and didn't need him all of a sudden showing up.
Look at me assuming that she has a significant other that caused this damage to Lance and that she didn't do it herself.
His mom died that he was taking care of. And then all of a sudden Lance is like, I don't have my mama anymore. I need another woman to take care of me because you're my 3rd wife. I need you, and comes crawling back.
Have you seen Monster, the Ed Gein story on Netflix?
I haven't, but I've heard tell. I'm
still torn, but I'm just saying there's a whole mother aspect to this. It's the whole psycho piece.
When he joined her in Portland after his mother's death, things were getting tense. She called the Portland Police Department in May of 1950 and asked for help. She said that he was drunk and waving a gun around. And according to police records, he actually threatened her several times with that gun. Now, no charges were filed against Lance in connection with this incident. It is literally 1950, which we joke about when we say, oh, a 1950s housewife. She wasn't in a safe place in society to make those charges against her husband in 1950.
Absolutely. Even if she does end up being the bad guy, I 100% agree that she's not in a position of safety at this point in time.
point in time.
Absolutely not.
He spent 2 days in the psychiatric hospital until Eva showed up, and against the advice of 2 hospital doctors, she signed a release and she took him home. At that point in time, things came to a head. And to Lance's credit, he does quit drinking for the summer of 1950.
Oh, you just brought up a new issue for us.
I know. Now,
those weren't issues then, because if you were a prominent member of society, you could get away with being an alcoholic because it was considered socially acceptable. If you were poor and you're the town drunk, panhandling on the side of the road and you're drunk, then it was not okay.
It wasn't. And don't forget Prohibition. That had just been
fair
20
enough,
years
because you were just
before.
talking about World War I, right? So we still have kind of an air about these types of things.
Right. Now, she dreamt of a romance that she had back in 1942 when she met a man named Ernest Zaschow. Zaschow.
Oh, I like it. I like Ernie.
He was a former boxer and a boxing trainer, so you know he's got that bod.
You know he does. Absolutely. I love a man that can take a punch, but what you don't like is one that can give one ladies in the 50s.
Right.
Because clearly Ernie can cause some damage.
Well, I think so.
Well, he's just become suspect number 2 for me.
Ernie.
That
is hysterical.
To me, he's Ernie.
Ernie Zaschow.
Right. Ernest saves widow's vagina.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to do with his 1-2 punch.
Yeah, that was his 1-2 punch. I've got a little TKO for you down here, baby.
That's right. Now, he would sometimes be in town from overseas.
Weird.
Mm-hmm. He was enlisted in the military during World War II.
Oh.
And he brought some excitement to her otherwise drab married life.
Is this when she had moved? Is this when they were separated?
This is 1942. Yes.
Okay.
When Eva called Dr. Skillen from Brunswick, she certainly expected him to come to her aid. She had an intimate relationship with the doctor. You had asked earlier about someone that's seen her naked.
Oh, he's seen her naked.
He's seen her naked, Megan.
He's seen her naked.
As a doctor. He has seen her
with the doctor
every
know
fiber of his being naked.
Now that would potentially get you, you'd lose your medical license.
He didn't care back then.
Yeah. Back then you have a beautiful woman on the table who's left her husband and she's, spread eagle being like, oh, there's a spot on my cervix that feels weird. And he's like, hey, let me check that for you. Look, Mom, no hands.
Let me check. That's 100% how I think that went down.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to make it a visual for y'all.
You know what? I could use my hand as I was classically trained in medical school, but I've got something a little bit longer. Yeah,
a little bit longer.
Just a little bit. Yep. So that is why
Can I decide not to totally hate Eva for all of this? No.
Listen,
here's where she messed up.
Look at the era she was raised in.
Here's where she messed up. She needed to have ended the relationship.
Yep.
They were clearly not doing well. She's off living someplace else. He's with his mother. End the relationship. Mm-hmm. So married doctor.
Yep.
Also a boxer who's kind of hot, who beats people up and is in World War II.
So the doctor is not the boxer.
No, also a boxer,
but also,
I said.
Yes.
She's
got two.
Okay.
I know. The boxer is when she was separated from her husband. Then her husband comes crawling back, and then all of a sudden she regains consciousness. So she calls Dr. Skillen from Brunswick because, he's going to know what to do. And she's worried that it was Ernest,
yes,
who murdered her husband and rendered her unconscious. Okay? So
this is all making sense.
Now you understand why she called Dr. Skillen first to come to her aid.
Because he's seen her naked.
He has seen her naked, and she can probably manipulate him to not turn in her potential boxer lover.
You know what we do know, though?
This.
He obviously has an alibi.
Right.
And has answered the phone 30 minutes away.
That's right.
So we know it wasn't him.
We know it's not him.
Even though he's seen her naked in the non-doctoral sense of the word.
The good doctor might be sleeping with his patients. But he's not murdering their husbands.
I don't like him.
No, I know. I knew you would.
Creepy.
I knew
it's
you
just
wouldn't.
very creepy.
I know.
I don't ever want to be spread eagle in front of somebody and then have them say later, hey, by the way, that was really fun for me. Would you like to grab drinks?
Agreed.
I'll be
absolutely fucking agreed.
No.
You know what?
You could actually be Matt LaFleur.
When I was...
Well,
no.
Never mind.
No. I'd let Matt LaFleur swab my cervix and take me out to dinner.
I would do that knowing he's a football coach.
Right? Same.
We're going to end up on a list.
We are somewhere. Oh my
Matt,
God.
if you're listening to this, every word is true.
And also, we're harmless.
You can have us both, and our husbands will sign waivers.
That's right. We're also harmless and would probably get along wonderfully with your wife.
Oh, she'd dig us.
Truly. However, so this explains why they called, why Eva called Dr. Skillen first, but then Dr. Skillen messes up and he calls the police because legitimately he's concerned about her.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Say what we want about Dr. Skillen and his side business.
Oh, did he separate church and state?
He did. He separated dick and consciousness and decided.
Isn't that what I said?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And he decided that maybe I should make sure she's okay. So by 4 a.m., they're bringing Eva into the police station.
Okay.
Where she calmly endures their interrogation, right? They kept asking her the same things. She kept giving them the same answers. And she was composed. They couldn't seem to get it through their thick skulls that a man had come to the door with a mask and threatened her. Halloween mask. Threatened her. She passed out. And when...
Did she pass out?
She claims that she passed out. And when she woke up, she called the doctor. That's the whole story.
Okay, but can I interject? Don't we already know that instead of passing out, she was actually hit?
Well, we don't know. She calls the doctor and says, I regained consciousness.
So that's interesting
She's
because my brain immediately...
and naked. Our brain,
but we don't know if any of those are true.
No.
We don't know if she was hit
No.
or if she was actually tied while she's calling the doctor.
The fascinating thing about humans' brains is that we will always fill in the details that will make the most sense to us.
I immediately jumped to her being a victim and was even explaining to the public how one might get a corded phone off of a wall with their teeth.
I know.
Never even you loved it, she says. I love it when Megan jumps to conclusions. Judge.
But that's what our brain, we are human. And I want everyone to understand.
This is why law enforcement gets shit wrong you guys.
Yes. Our brain is completely designed to take the easiest neuroplasticity that is ingrained in it. Neuroplasticity means like the easiest route.
It means my brain is plastic.
It has been washed.
Oh, movable.
It has been completely malleable to the fact that you filled in details that I never said.
I know it did.
And it does that on purpose for survival, for absolute ease of understanding and making things more efficient for us, Megan. That is how the human brain is designed.
We do it when we read. Are you a fast reader?
Yes.
So people who fast read, and I'm one of those also, we can get through an entire 300-page novel in a couple hours?
Right.
Because as we're reading, and we are legit getting all the information, but our eyes start skipping over complete words where we only see a couple letters, and we can read a page in seconds, right?
Correct.
Because our brains are filling it in.
You're reading the first 2 to 3 letters of
every
the word. Which
Absolutely.
is why I struggle to pronounce things from different countries that I'm in languages I'm unfamiliar with.
No, it all makes sense now. Yep. And that's what my brain literally just did with this case. I feel like I owe Lancelot an apology.
You don't.
I don't?
You really don't.
Okay.
I mean, he's okay. Don't worry. He's in a better place.
Is he?
Yeah.
Not with Eva?
He's not with Eva.
Okay.
He's happier. Trust me. Yes.
Okay, give me the sugar. I need the tea.
But as time went on, Eva realizes they're holding her not just for interrogation, but it's because they don't believe her.
Did they find her in some type of a faux hog tie? Had she attempted to hog tie herself?
Remember, she was covered in scarves. She was tied with a scarf. She had a scarf-like thing over her face. She had been reading the newspaper and saw a familiar face. Ernest Zashal.
Who she had formerly had relations with.
The overseas boxer. Yes. He had been written up in the paper for some boxing affair, and they needed a man to pin this on, so she served one up to them. And she says, I remember now. It was Ernest Zeshow. He's who came to the door.
In the Halloween mask?
Yep.
I recognized him in
in
his plastic 1950s mask. You remember the one?
1951 Halloween mask. Yeah. I recognized his burly body that I've had intimate relations with.
Yeah, explain that.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the cops' perspective on Lancelot Cooper's murder. Okay? So
Am I going to like this?
Of course look into Ernest. Of course they look into Ernest. He's a boxer. He has the brawn to kill, right? So they go to his residence in Portland when he comes to fight, where he stays, and they bring him down to the station. And they say, where were you on January 17th, 1 week prior, to this? It had been only a week had passed since the death of Lancelot. And before even giving any clues about what the questioning was about, he produced an alibi. He said, I was at the YMCA gym that night, teaching a boxing class until 9 p.m. He then returned home. He listened to Groucho Marx's program on the radio.
Oh, I love how wholesome that is.
And he detailed, he detailed that his wife was with him. Okay. His wife corroborated this story to them almost to the minute, was like, yes, this is what happened. This is where he was. It was corroborated that he was at the YMCA. A lot of people saw him teaching a course until 9 p.m. So the cops realize immediately, this bitch be lying. Yeah. Ernest has nothing to do with this. And he may know.
Maybe she just made a mistake, Charnell.
Well, back in the 40s, 10 years ago, whatever. So, okay, so she's hooking up with him back then. Yeah. He's married now. He's still coming here to fight, but you don't have anything to do with him.
Oh.
Yeah. The cops knew that they were spinning their wheels, and they wanted an airtight case. So when they arrived at the Cooper apartment, they at first believed that it had been a home invasion, just as Eva had said. But things started to not make sense.
Like the fact that there was no theft?
Well, no theft. And as you had alluded to, Eva's hog tie was very removable.
Right.
There was nothing keeping her. Why did she have to pull the phone with her teeth and all this elaborate stuff? Because they removed it easily. And her clothes, she had no injuries from where her clothes were taken off from her.
So she was somehow disrobed and potentially sexually assaulted, but there was no marks on her body at all.
She was not sexually assaulted. She was barely tied tightly enough that she couldn't have gotten out to seek help by the phone call that she made. So they take her to the station and they questioned her from 4 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. So that's 13 and a half hours, by the way. And it was during their questioning, but that they became very, very convinced that there was no mystery man at the door. There was no Ernest at the door. Ernest may have been, and maybe not, a lover. Maybe it was someone she fucking fantasized about. We don't know, truly. But Eva's stories seemed to change as they presented her with evidence. They said, why are there bloodstains on your right arm, Eva? If you were in the living room unconscious until phoning the doctor, at what point did blood end up on your arm? Why is there blood on your slippers? They asked. Eva said that she hadn't even been in the bedroom. Under the pressure, she had to give them something, so she admitted that she had bound her hands and blindfolded herself and stripped off her own clothes. Why?
Why?
They asked. Of course they're going to say why.
I was bored.
So she said, so that if her husband came out of the bedroom, he could see that the man attacked her as well as him. So she's trying to say that the man didn't attack me, but I let him attack Lance. But if Lance lived, I wanted him to think I was a victim too.
Why?
Right? They'd heard enough. County Attorney Daniel McDonald told the press that Eva was being charged. On Friday afternoon, she was arraigned at court in Brunswick.
Arraigned or arranged?
Did I say arranged?
Yes.
I actually wrote arranged.
I know it was arraigned.
It sure is.
I know. You probably autocorrected.
It 100% is arraigned.
I know.
I freaking wrote arranged and then read it like it was normal.
Because it probably autocorrected it to arranged.
Oh, it does. It 100% says arranged.
I've seen what my phone does to things. I never meant ducking ever.
Ever. It's 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night.
I know.
Of course I'm going to say arranged. But anyway, yes, arraigned. So she was arraigned at court in Brunswick, where the judge told her the state believed that she, with malice, had murdered her husband, and she was being held without bail.
When they use that terminology, that means first-degree premeditated murder, because in the 50s, what we would learn, or that's common law homicide, is first-degree premeditated murder. Use the term malice aforethought.
That's the exact term, was malice aforethought.
It is malice aforethought.
On Monday, June 11th, Brain Beth Jason's birthday.
Oh, it is.
Mm-hmm. The time
what a lovely day.
Had finally come for Eva to face a jury of her peers. And the prosecution called to the stand Eva's neighbors about the night that the murder happened. At 7:30 p.m. that Wednesday night, William Murphy, who worked for the Bowdoin, well, how'd you pronounce it? Bowdoin?
Bowdoin?
Bowdoin? That's not how I pronounced it, because that's not how it's written, but I believe
don't know.
you.
How's it spelled?
Bowdoin. Bowdoin. Is
Bowdoin?
It? But I said Bowdoin. But anyway, at that college, he was a friend of Lance and Eva's. He went by their apartment.
We're both wrong.
Okay.
It's Bowdoin.
Bowdoin. Oh, that actually makes more sense.
I apologize, Maine people. It's Bowdoin College.
Yeah.
It's a liberal arts college like where
What
both
we went
you
to.
and I went to.
Yep, that makes sense. So Lance and Eva, he went by their apartment to give them tickets to a sporting event that night happening at the college, but he found no one home, so he slid the tickets under the door. 10 minutes later at 7:40, David Mullen and his wife, who lived across the hall from Lance and Eva, said that Lance visited them and complained of not feeling well. He offered the sports tickets to them, but they declined. Between 9:30 and 10 p.m., the couple was listening to a radio program called Mr. DA in their unit, in their apartment. And afterwards, they went to sleep. They didn't hear any noise, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Around the same time, Gordon Milliken, a student at the university, returned home, and he lived in the unit directly below Lance and Eva. At 10:25 p.m., he said he heard 3 sounds. The first one was a sharp sound. The second one was a duller one, and the third one was a sharp sound. He was at that moment seated at his desk. He was at that moment seated at his desk almost directly below the bedroom where Lance was killed. At 11 p.m., his roommate returned home, at which point there was no more noise at all. They were the upstairs neighbors, and they hadn't heard anything until the police arrived at 12:30. So something happened between 10:25 and 12:30 a.m. The prosecution continued to lay out their case. They pointed out all the contradictory things that Eva had told them. So Dr. Skillen is obviously the first defense witness. He said of Lance that he once had a tendency to run naked in the street and holler from the rooftops for drinking too much.
Been there.
So
damn rooftops.
Can we just recognize that Dr. Skillen has a motive to lie here because he is sleeping with Eva?
I mean, obviously.
And so he's like, oh, yeah, this guy. Well, he likes to run naked through the streets and holler from the rooftops.
Whore.
Who doesn't? Come on.
I mean, you're in college. You go to Bowdoin College. I bet you've been naked and ran a chapel run before.
The chapel runs. The prosecutors, though, during cross-examination.
Can you tell we both went to Christian liberal arts colleges?
Right.
If any of you don't know what a chapel run is, find a good little blonde Christian girl, and she'll tell you exactly what a chapel run is.
She sure will. The prosecutors, though, during cross-examination, elicited some shocking testimony. Dr. Skillen said that a quantity of codeine was found in the house.
Oh, not the codeine.
Not codeine. Several Amitrol tablets and some powdered Amitrol in wax paper in Eva's pocket.
Someone snorted the Amitrol.
Amitrol is a barbiturate and a powerful sedative.
Mm-hmm.
The prosecutor planted the seeds of a story in the jury's mind. Ernest Zaschow, the boxer, was called to the stand. After explaining their complicated history of their genitals.
Yeah, 10 years ago I nailed her.
Right.
Go on, boxer. Tell him, Ernie.
Literally 10 years ago, by the way.
Who cares?
Ernest.
Because Ernie's just going to be like more of a stud and they're going to call her a whore now.
Of course. It's 1951.
I don't love that for Eva, by the way.
No,
I don't care
neither.
what she did with her genitals 10 years prior.
Me neither. Except that you shouldn't read a newspaper article and just pick your old lover.
No, that
and
makes
decide
her a
to pin it on
psychopath.
him.
This is none
Sure.
of that's okay. I'm just saying
Right.
in terms of the actual 10 years ago sex
No.
with the hot boxer, good for you,
For
Eva.
sure,
But don't decide to pinpoint him and make him an alibi.
Right.
Or,
Total.
I'm sorry, not even alibi. Make him a, what do you call it when you, a scapegoat.
A scapegoat, right. And truly understood. Like,
Yeah.
understand, Eva. She was young. Anyway, Ernest says that his name often appeared in the newspaper. And when he was asked about, like he truly was asked that. Did your name often appear in the newspaper? He said yes. And he added that he believed that his name was in the newspaper the Saturday after the murder. And the same day that Eva had basically pointed him as the culprit. Now, this wasn't the only thing in the newspaper that seemed to have made it into the case. There was actually the $1.7 million bank robbery in Boston that is still unsolved, by the way, had made its way into the Portland Evening Express the night of Lance's murder. It was a 1 year retrospective coverage of the case. Do you see what I'm saying?
I get it.
So it was like a year before. And it told of men wearing grotesque Halloween masks.
Okay.
Having guns and their hostages being tied up.
Weird.
Details that were shockingly similar to Eva's story.
How weird. And they were highly publicized.
Highly publicized the evening of Lance's murder.
Okay.
Okay? So we have Ernest's
Eva's not
name.
even creative at this point,
She's
Charnell.
not. She's not.
I'm disappointed, Eva.
We have Ernest's name in the paper the day after. We have the Halloween masks and the victims being tied up the day of Lance's murder.
Social media made me do it.
Oh my God, exactly. Gave me the idea. And so this is what the prosecution connects the dots for the jury. The judge said, quote, "You are the hopper into which the mass of evidence has been fed. From that hopper must come the truth and the truth alone." And so the jury does find Eva guilty. And the court convened on Sunday, June 16th. So it was a 6-day trial. And they returned at 11, not 11. They returned at 1:30 p.m. to complete deliberations. And the foreman said, "We, the jury, find the respondent guilty of manslaughter." And
Really?
in a surprising turn of events, the judge immediately imposed sentence, the maximum of 10 to 20 years. Through her lawyer, Eva told the press that she was innocent, that another person had killed her husband.
No, Eva. But why manslaughter? What happened in the heat of the moment to make that manslaughter?
Well, that's what I wonder. Was there testimony or was there a thought in the judge's opinion? I don't know.
Did the jury make this decision or the judge?
Oh, no. No, the jury did find her guilty of manslaughter.
Okay, so
This is probably what she was charged with.
Well, no, I'm going to throw this out there, and I guess I don't necessarily have the proof, but here's what happens often. She was probably originally charged with premeditated first-degree murder with the malice aforethought piece that you were discussing.
Yep.
One of the lesser included offenses that is always included if you ask for the instruction is a voluntary manslaughter case for the jury to consider. I think that in this time frame, it would be easy to consider that a jury might look at a woman defendant, a woman murderer, and decide to convict her of the lesser included offense.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. They don't have to consider all of these other things. And it's not necessarily a cop out, but it's kind of a cop out. I see jurors do it all the time. And it's not necessarily bad. It just happens. And here's my best comparison is, and we're going to take this way away from having a victim, an operating while intoxicated case. Okay. Clearly it just shows that you have to have someplace over a 0.08 and have been operating right. Mm-hmm. One of the lesser included offenses you can always include is operating while impaired. Okay. Impaired is a little bit less than an operating while intoxicated. And you don't actually have to show an actual level of intoxication, just that the impairment of some substance in your body may have caused you to operate in an unsafe manner. Juries love if they're a little bit confused about blood testimony and expert witnesses or breath testimony or tests and things like that. They like to convict of the lesser included offense because it's easy and it's clear. Yeah. That could have happened here. And you do take into consideration the fact that you have a vulnerable, helpless woman.
This was 74 years ago. Absolutely.
Right. Who was crazy enough, by the way, to hog tie herself and use her teeth to call her other lover on the phone to try to create an alibi.
After stabbing her husband 3 times in the head, which is a very personal attack.
Yes.
And, yes, exactly. Calling her lover and then blaming it on her other lover.
From 10 years ago. Who is living his best life with his new wife and family, just really enjoying beating people up for money.
Poor Ernest.
Ernest is a great guy.
Yeah. He's channeling his oops, sorry, I kicked my table.
I jumped.
He's channeling his anger in the right place. It's not towards his family and wife.
Agreed.
Or family and wife. Those are the same things. But, kids and wife, whatever.
Well.
Yeah, he's doing it legally and for money.
Poor Lancelot.
Oh, poor Lancelot.
You guys,
I don't know what kind of husband he was. I don't know.
I don't think probably great. And I want to find a little bit of sympathy for Eva. But again, we always get down to the basics of all of these cases. And one of these, divorce is always an option.
It was. And let's say this, granted, he was a widow once, but he did divorce his first wife, I guess. This was his third marriage.
A young marriage with a divorce ended a couple years later, possibly amicably. His second Grace died.
Second Grace died.
He marries this one. She moves away from him, and he has to live with his mom because he's busy being a big shit in a small town.
At the Elks Club.
We know all of these people. He was a Mason.
Eva. He was a Mason.
He was a Mason.
Yeah, she's the shithead. And she is. She murdered her husband. This isn't okay. But through her lawyer, Eva told the press that she was innocent. Okay? And so she served time in the women's reformatory in, I'm going to say this wrong, and I'm sorry, Skowhegan, but we are uncertain of how many years that happened, but it's spelled Skowhegan. So
that sounds right to me.
Skowhegan. She did live for several years, and she was, she served until 1973, so she was 67 years old, and she died in 1985 at the age of 77.
Okay.
Yeah. And she was still going by, at that point in time, she was Evangeline Marjorie Sawyer Cooper.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
so Evangeline was always shortened then.
Yes, to Eva. She died September 17th, 1985, which as we record this, that's only 4 days from now.
It is.
Yep.
Okay.
1985.
Very interesting.
I do always love how that seems to happen for our cases.
It happens a lot. We had Jason's birthday come up in here for the date of the trial when it began. Like all kinds of weird shit.
Yep.
You want to know what's even more bizarre?
Yes.
I'm going to bathe you just very briefly.
Please do.
And while we're talking about shitheads named Eva.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I totally forgot that that's our brain bath. And that is our perpetrator today.
Right. So segueing from perpetrator to one of my very best friends in the entire world, who's like a little sister to me. She's actually my sister's best friend. And you know those type of friends. She's like my little baby sister, right?
And she's known me since I was 8 years old, at least.
Right. So you know who she is. So we're at the wedding.
Yes.
Very important person to my daughter, to my whole family, in our whole lives. And I am voluntarily, without her permission, throwing her out here. I'm not going to say her last name, but I'm putting her under the bus. But I'm also going to give her a plug afterwards just to make myself feel better. So One of the things that Eva does, having been a friend forever, is she decided a number of years ago that she was going to go into like paramedical tattooing. So I had lost a significant amount of weight at one point, and I have a lot of stretch marks and scars. And she was like, I wonder if we can do something for those that doesn't require plastic surgery, because I'm not a surgery person, right? Like
Sure.
I'm not into modifying my body. And there's nothing wrong if you do. If you want big titties, go get them. I don't care.
Right.
But not for me. And I didn't want to do that. So she starts studying and actually goes to school and gets a certificate in this whole paramedical tattooing thing.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, so she's going to try some things out on me. We're not talking about like body modification. We're not talking about Botox. We're not talking about any lifts or fillers or anything. None of that. So she can do this cool thing with this paramedical tattooing where you go in and like on your stretch marks, on your scars, which is what started with my abdomen. And then I had her do some on my forehead because I have these really deep chickenpox scars. And it does feel...
I don't want to hear about chickenpox scars on your forehead. Look at mine.
I know, Charnell.
That's the only one I
know
have.
you do. And I have some deep ones up here, but you probably can't see them a ton anymore because it works.
No, I cannot.
The paramedical tattooing, right? So
mine is a bullseye between my eyes. It's actually hilarious.
Charnel, she could totally fix it.
Probably.
I'm telling you, it'd be gone.
I need to go talk to
in
her.
a couple of sessions, if not one. So it's this whole thing where it's like almost like I want to call it like a microdermabrasion thing where they're kind of tattooing your skin, but it's not as deep as an ink tattoo.
Yeah.
And what's going into it instead is like healthy like serums and stuff. And the whole point is it like rebuilds collagen in your body and it helps fill in even older scars and things like that.
Yeah.
And it really helps rejuvenate your face quite a bit, but it's not surgery. And so I see her obviously at the wedding, and it's been a while since I've been in to see her. And so I go in to give her a hug, and I love this woman. I go in to give her a hug, and I'm like, oh my God, I love you. I miss you. I haven't seen you in so long. I need to come see you. I'm looking old and I need to have these wrinkles fixed and whatever all at once. And she says, as she's hugging me, yes, you do.
You literally said it all at once. I need to come see you.
I'm looking so old. I need to get these wrinkles fixed. And she says, yes, you do. Because she's responding, by the way, from her perspective to the I need to come see you and that I miss her.
As a friend.
Yes.
I need to see you.
And I draw back and I go, oh my God. And my sister, her very best friend in the whole world, again, they're like my little sisters, is dying laughing. And she goes, that's not what I mean. I'm like, you said it. You said it. You said I looked old. You said, yes, you do.
Yes, you
and she goes, that is not what I was responding to. So again, these are the ways that some people can accidentally become not friends anymore. But I thought it was funny.
It was funny.
Just because timing is everything. And I'm going to give her a plug now. If you're in Michigan in Northville and you want to go to Flawless Beauty Inc. for some paramedical tattooing, go see my friend Eva, who thinks I look old, and she will fix all of our wrinkles together.
She will.
Without surgery or Botox.
Yep. And I think that maybe I need to go talk about this chickenpox scar because I didn't have
totally
chickenpox.
Fix it. Totally
I didn't have them
it.
until I was 10 years old.
Yeah, I just love that it's not, there's nothing unnatural about this. It's your
Right.
own body healing itself, and it's amazing. Some of the reconstructive things I've seen her do with women who have scars, let me just give you an example, and I can't name any names or anything like that, but she posted this on her site. She had a young girl who was a cutter. And we all know that there are girls out there who deal with their stress and trauma in their lives by cutting their skin. It's actually more normal than you think it is. I've dealt with a lot of young ladies who've done this over the years.
Yes.
Well, once she got herself into a good place mentally, she obviously wanted to hide the evidence of those things. She totally has been able to almost eliminate that scars and that trauma from her life. It's just beautiful. Amazing. And she can also fix scars from things like mastectomies and cancer removals and tumors and stuff. So she does beautiful work.
That is actually really amazing.
But she did tell me I looked old, and I want you all to keep that in mind when you go there.
Yes, thank you for that. And on the bonus episode that we're going to record next, I'm going to have a very similar brain bath, but it's about your dad.
It's about my dad?
It's about your dad. And
well, Dad's a Patreon, so tune in.
Yep, can't wait. And it just reminded me as you were saying the things that people say without meaning to say things, you know.
Or because they're responding to a compound statement.
Exactly, exactly. And you know in their heart of hearts that that's not what they mean.
I know,
so
she
you
would
have
never
to
call me
bust
old.
their balls.
To my face.
To your face, right. You know what, though? She really did mean, come see me more. I miss you.
Of course she did.
Yes, of course. So, but anyway.
All right.
Well, thank you all so much for listening. We hope that you keep it curious.
And keep listening.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.